So I just want to do a quick recap on my game against Jokaero, just on my thinkings and decision making, not really on the lucky outcome. We started with a very nice kick for me, and the offense for the Necros. Pretty standard, recover the ball, pretty nice cage, so I can't do really much. What I'm trying to do here mainly is guarding the skinks while getting blitzes or blocks on some of the more valuable targets like the ghouls and well, no, obviously not the ghouls, but the whites and the wolves if possible. Especially of course the mighty blow claw wolf, which scares me a little bit. Yeah, so I end up pressurizing also a bit the side on the ball. Jokaero then actually manages to knock out one of my Sauri. Still gonna put in, and here maybe during the turn you can see what has happened. I committed here a bit to make the blitz here, and then I boneheaded, so I actually had to screen with skinks. But I guess that's fine because afterwards we got the both down here, which kind of saved my offense. And anyway, he even if he gets the blitz on his kings, he doesn't want to really risk anything near the crocs, even if it's boneheaded. So yeah, so he gets a very nice setup on this side to go through. So obviously I need to make sure I can cover this side without putting in much risk. So I do the block dice first, and then I actually just want to break or kind of set up a wall here so he can't really move through here. What he then also does, he goes over to the other side. And the lucky thing is with Sauri, and especially with having a break tackle Sauris, we are quite flexible. Also to side changes, and could even get here a block on the mighty blow wolf and put a guy next to the ball carrier. Of course, if this guy would have made it, I mean, this wasn't really necessary for my plan, but if he would be here, it would be very nice because then we can have to blitz either this guy away or just dodge with the ball carrier, which both is basically good for me. So he then, just looking at this, ends up then looking my crocs, setting up the screen over there, and then having to dodge anyways because he had the both down. I'm not able to really pressure the ball and kind of opt to go with the Croxy to get the 4+. I have to actually reroll it, but I can get the tackle zones on. So he has to 4+ dodge next turn, which is of course a bit risky, but there's not really any other way for him to continue. So he makes the way free, goes through, and can then actually screen with the wolf and the guard right. And then actually it was a bit of thinking, and whatever he does actually here, even if he gets the 2 dodges and screens here, with the break tackler here and here, I will most likely get the 2 dice with the Sauri on him. So he opted to actually go over here and say, well, I mean, if you want to dodge around and blitz with your skinks and without block, and committing all the skinks to do the blitz on the ball carrier, then do that. And I think it was the right call from Jokaero to go over here, because then, as you can see at the end of the turn, I really have a lot of trouble. I cannot with any way block these 2 guys away and still get a pass through. So I end up having to do some of the blocks, and then just dodging around with the skinks here. 1 assist, and then yeah, I also wanted to screen here with the Sauri, of course, this guy which would make the ball a lot safer. That didn't happen. Not extremely a big issue. But he can then, of course, crowd push my skink and put some tackle zones next to the ball or next to my guys. Yeah. So I guess here it's turn 7. Question is always, do I want to assure for all powers to actually not let him score? I mean, he has the ghoul in range, he has the wolf in range, and I can't really blitz with the Sari because they're off, so I then actually opted to blitz with the Croxy and actually get the assist here, get him next to the ball, which also should secure the him not being able to pick up, except if it's a very lucky bounce. And then I had actually the options afterwards. Well, I mean, I then missed the blitz, so I had the option to get my skink over here, which is next to the ball, which is fine, and then actually have a 1 dice crowd push opportunity for the Surehander Ghoul, which means somebody else needs to pick up handoff and then catch through the wolf, which will be 3/3 plus at least. Well, I guess 2, 3 plus to make the touchdown. Then this actually all works, and I mean, I then say, well, I mean, let's risk it. After all, I could still even score. So I risked the pickup. Then, of course, very lucky he, without the reroll, does not bring down my guy. Maybe we go back to this turn again. So we discussed this quickly. So he wants to block the skink with the white in order to get the ball, hopefully, to one of these squares where he could go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, go for it handoff. My point was basically, why not blitz with the wolf, which would go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Even if it's 2 pushes, it gets to the white, and if actually the second push is a POW here, then you might even 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 do the handoff. If that doesn't work, then you can at least still get the skink down with the white, and at least get the skink down, even though you can't really score, but make sure I can score. Also, if you get the 2 pushes, then I'm out of range, which will ensure me not scoring. And yeah, I mean, of course, it was then lucky for me to really score, but yeah, it's 2 dodges and 2 go for it, which can happen. Maybe to the start of this turn, if we go back here again, so mid-game, what happened, of course, is you do then this block, and that's kind of the situation where you stand. Then, of course, at the moment, he has to touch twice, but either this or this guy can blitz him away with the go for it. So he opts then to kind of screen both guys, so I cannot blitz anybody. I mean, 2, 3, go, no, doesn't work, which is a fine solution, but it still leaves me just with dodging through. I think here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7, 8, 9 with the go for it on the wolf, and this wolf over here, you could screen actually these 2 guys, and then even with well, yeah, I mean, I guess if you can then go with the Croxy 1, 2, 3, well, actually you can't, because then you can go 1, 2, 3, but then you'd have to blitz with the Croxy, which is a high risk, because if you miss the blitz, then I can't even score because I can't get through. So I kind of have to then blitz with the with the Zauri, and yeah, maybe I can get the chain push from this guy, 1, 2, 3, but then I'd really have to set my crocs 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and the skink somewhere here. So I think it might have been a better option to just screen these two guys here to force me to either go for a blitz and still 3+3+ dodge, or a Croxy blitz to get only a 3+ dodge. Might have been a better choice. Anyway, I mean, I locked myself through to get the 1-0, and then of course it's my KOs coming back, which helps a lot. And I'm 1-0 up, which means I can basically score whenever I like to, which is always very handy, because then you don't have to worry really much about stalling, whether it's around turn like 3 or 5 or 7. I mean, when I get a clean score, I will score. That makes it a lot easier than having to score like turn 7 or even 8 if it's like 0-0 to deny the counter score. So yeah, I just block around a bit, cage, I get another Zauri out, but yeah, it doesn't really bother me too much. Just try to always cage, get some of the easy targets down, and then here I get a bit under pressure. I'm actually quite lucky because this wolf had the 1 dice into 2 dice on the Croxy, and he actually double skulled it, which opens for me the way basically to break through, because I'm kind of now getting a bit into trouble. All my skinks except the bulkier and the other one are bound. So yeah, I really felt lucky to now be able to kind of break through. So what I did then, of course, this guy needs to fall. If this guy doesn't fall, I'm probably gonna not break through, but just kind of try to make my cage here. But if he falls like with the first guy, of course I can blitz the ghoul and have like everything free. So important also to kind of I screened this way first, even though the skink here would have probably been easier to reach over there, but that way, even if the dodges fail, I mean, it's not that easy. Of course, it's a 3+ dodge, but that's still a 3+ dodge and a go for it, so that's better. Then luckily my dodges work, I can secure, and then actually here, of course, I wanted to then dodge here and close the gap and maybe block him, or actually even dodge away with the break tackle Zauri. I had my reroll already used, so I think here I said, well, I mean, I have the Mighty Blow Wolf that I can block for free with the Croxy. Let's try that first, see whether he's bonehead or not. He double skulled. But as I said, I already have quite a nice cage set up, so that then was good enough. As you can see, there was actually a 2 dice on the ball with the ghoul, and also very neat here to actually put one guy down here first to kind of, if the dodge fails, I still am quite forced to actually score next turn and cannot stall further, and still you have one guy here and here, so if the blitz actually works, then you have a guy here next to the free ball. You still have one guy to maybe pick it up, so or at least put in a tackle zone, so that's of course the best way. Unlucky with the POW, he can push him one field back, and then kind of says, well, I mean, I'm just gonna screen here and make it impossible for him to stall, and that's also what it is now. I thought a little bit how I could do this. I could theoretically blitz this guy away and then block this guy away, but that also doesn't guarantee me not having to dodge. So I rather just do the blitz here, and if I get the POW, I can actually then, without the dodge, if I don't get the POW, at least only have to dodge once, but I can still put one guy up further in case I fail the dodge or I fail to go for it. I have somebody in range. Luckily, for the second time, I do a 3+2+2+ touchdown, which is, I guess, kind of risky, but also given the Croxy double scald, put me a bit into this tougher situation, I guess. Then it could have been, then again, before that double skull, there was the double skull of the wolf, which would have not even enabled me to score initially, so obviously can't complain. Then here, again, the question, obviously, he wants to still tie at least, so he needs to score twice, so ideally he needs to score in 2 turns. So he set up to go through the middle, because going through the sideline is quite a hustle, and then when you have 2 players here, you can quite easily screen them off to not be able to score. If you go through the middle, you just need to make sure you get this guy down, otherwise, yeah, you're then screwed. So this happened. Blitz on the skink, which is fine, and then put just somebody in range, yeah, to be able to potentially score. He screened here off very well to see this is the break tackler, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, go. Won't work, only if I really go straight, and then still has to block with the Mighty Blow Wolf at the end, which is of course a nice thing to have. So what to do here? So I think there's 2 possibilities. You can either just say, well, I mean, I'm going to block the wolf, I'm going to blitz the wolf and block this guy. And of course here you can just block with this guy and 2 assists. So I opted actually to do that. But of course first standing up, and then getting the assists in doing this block and getting this guy also in range. And then I guess it's a bit of a question whether you want to do this block first or first the blitz. But I think my thinking was, if he goes down, I can push him actually next to this guy to block him better. But he then doesn't go down, so I just put the tackle zone on him and put the guy next to the ball. Now here I think I made a little mistake, because the way the game is, and he needs to score next turn, he anyways needs to dodge away with the ghoul. So me actually putting a second skink next to the ball carrier is not really worth anything, except if he fails I can score, but I don't really care. If he fails, the game is over. So I should have probably better left that skink back here to actually deny him to moving through this easily. I mean, he could probably still have moved through, but at least he wouldn't be able to cage. So what then happens is, yeah, I mean, he gets his way clear, he gets this guy away, and now has basically the handoff option even. And if that would have worked without the reroll, he could have just dodged away here and then made a pass. As the reroll was already used, he opted to rather say, well, I want to have a safe score in turn 6, and then still have 2 turns, maybe the blitz or a lot of pressure to get the ball, which I think is the right call. And he even got then the dodge away here to guard. So you see, I mean, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I can't get with this guy in range. I can get with this guy 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Not anymore with break tackle even. So I kind of have to block with the skinks, but I can get the assists on here. So that's then what I do. I also try to get the Croxy through somehow. So I have to reroll here to get the 2 assists, and I then decide to move this guy even though he has to blitz. So yeah, then the block, and yeah, I mean every time I block the ball carrier I get him down, which is of course as well extremely lucky. And then here, yeah, I mean I need to pick it up because otherwise he could block me onto the ball with the 1 dice, or even, I mean, getting the guard assist with the 2 dice, maybe even. And then if I keep standing here, he can still blitz through with this guy, and if he gets the second block POW, then he's like the ball is here and he's free, so he can just dodge and run in. Even if I go down here, it's quite hard because if he needs to kind of get this guy down, and even if he gets him down, the chance that he either has to push him on the ball or next to the ball is quite big, and yeah, it's a 2+. So yeah, that works, and then just screening off the rest, and then it's basically game. And I mean I didn't even screen it off 1 more turn and put 1 in range, and didn't even get the lucky 4+ handoff touchdown at the end, which is irrelevant at this point. So yeah, I think from the dice it was mainly blitzing the ball carrier. I mean, I had the dices, 2 dice to bring down the ball carrier twice, and he just had me also twice, but did not get the ball carrier down, and that's just such small. I mean, not that small, but yeah, I mean it's 6 dice, and you need a power, a block, and then if you don't get it, then yeah, against good players you usually only get like 1 chance to bring down the ball carrier, and if that doesn't work, then yeah, their whole effort was for nothing often. And then of course we had this double skull with the wolf, and we had overall the wolves not doing too much damage. Well, actually they did damage, but lucky KO rolls from my side, especially because if I only had 1 roll, so that was I guess a bit lucky on my side, a couple of stuns and things. So yeah, overall, yeah, we did have a bit of a trial session for the 1-turner. No comment to that one. Alright, just this as a quick recap for our game.